art of handling people made easy. Number one, introduction. What do you mean by the art of handling people? What are the various things to be considered in order to handle people? A man who wants to achieve success in life must learn the art of handling people. We cannot succeed by being indifferent to people. We need people's cooperation at every step. Our success depends on what people do for us. It is a matter of great regret that many of us ignored this truth. We are much wiser in handling things. We handle them according to their nature. We take special care in handling those things that are easily broken. But in the matter of handling people, we are still a child. We think that all men are alike and we give the same kind of treatment to them all. But this is our foolishness. All men are never alike. Men are not standardized machines. To think all men are alike and to treat them alike is to be a crude amateur in the art of handling men. Just as all the animals in the zoo are not fed with the same kind of food, so all men should not be given the same kind of treatment. We must learn the art of handling people. The writer has preferred to use the word handling rather than any other word, though the writer admits that it is not the right word to express what he means. The word is used for both people and things. He has chosen the word handling, for there is no word in the English language that means inducing people to help us of their own free will. Even the word influencing denotes a certain amount of pressure. We have to consider various things in order to handle people. There is a formula for handling people, which is the first thing to know. According to the formula, we need people's cooperation to realize our purpose. We cannot attain our goal without the help of others, but others will not help us unless we make them interested in our purpose. We cannot compel them to help us, nor can we take their help by shouting at them or issuing orders to them. Either they won't help us or they will help us half heartedly. The best thing is to make them personally interested in what is to be done. We can solve our personal problem by helping other people to solve their personal problems. Selfishness is foolishness. We should try to develop ourselves by developing others. We can achieve success by sharing success with others. We must gather our other people into our success. The second important thing is that we should not be proud and arrogant. The writer gives the name Humpty Dumpty to arrogant persons, just as Humpty Dumpty fell from the wall on the ground, so arrogant persons who sit on a wall of pride and power are bound to fall. Being proud and arrogant, we can't get people's cooperation. We will rather incur their displeasure. The third important thing is the study of psychology of those who can help us. We must take a keen and kindly interest in other people. We must consider their opinions and wishes. If we are not interested in other people, why should they be interested in us? The importance of the tact too can't be lost sight of. Tact does not mean strategy, trickiness, or deceit. By tact, we mean applying common sense and courtesy to influence other people, to study each man and then to suit our talk to his point of view. That is tact. Another point to be noted is sympathy. It is said that tact is good and sympathy is better. Sympathy is a higher and noble virtue than tact. Tact may be only the ripening of shrewdness, but if a man has sympathy behind his tact, he rises to a high level. In the business world, we must be hard against difficulties and opposition, but we must not be hard against people. It has been found that horses can be trained better with kindness than with cruelty. If If greatness or sympathy is more effective in handling horses, it must be more effective in handling people. Sympathy is a great business building force. The next important point is humor. Life is too serious to be taken seriously. A sense of humor prevents a man from inflating himself into a Humpty Dumpty. It is humor, not seriousness, that attracts. Laugh, and the world laughs with you. Weep, and you weep alone. Humor makes people teachable. A new idea can be laughed into their minds. Thus, there are six factors to be considered in the handling of people. All factors are equally important. A study of the art of handling people simply means study of these very six factors. It is an art that everyone should know. If we cultivate this art, success and happiness will be ours. So basically, the introduction part is that the art of handling people is actually not the right title because there is no other word that writer could find in English language for inducing people to help us of their own free will. And he had one word called influencing, but that too denotes a certain amount of pressure, so he chooses handling rather than any other word. Uh, and then he talks about how not to be Humpty Dumptys by being arrogant and pride of power, being proud and arrogant will not get people's cooperation, but rather their displeasure. By power, you may get their help, but the people will only help you half heartedly, or they won't straight away help you at all. He also talks about selfishness is the foolishness that we should try to develop ourselves by developing others. He's talking about a team, being successful is a team effort rather than a solo thing. And he also talks about the importance of psychology of those we can help, and we must consider their opinion and wishes by taking the interest in them. And there's a tact to it, he says, and tact doesn't mean strategy, strictness, or deceit, but it's just applying common sense and courtesy to influence other people. And he also talks about the importance of humor and how an idea can be what was the word he used? Humor makes people teachable. A new idea can be laughed into their minds, and that he he writes the proverb that laugh and the world laughs with you, weep and you weep alone. And there's another point made that sympathy is bigger and nobler virtue than tact. Tact may be only the ripening of shrewdness, but if a man has sympathy behind his tact, he rises to a high level. And it talks about in business world you must be hard against difficulties and opposition, but not against people. the example by how horses can be treated better with kindness than cruelty, and they can be trained more effectively than being cruel. And that was just the introduction part, and there's many more chapters. This is a small book, but there's like 8 chapters in it, and it's all now like all those points he made on introduction will be discussed on the next chapters, like formula for handling people, and describes the fall of Humpty Dumpty, interest in other people, how you can take it, and he talks about the tact, talks about sympathy, and he talks about humor, and he then incorporates all of them again to describe how to handle customers. That's a good book. Good book from 1965.